Hey everyone, welcome back. This is episode 10 of Fuckery 101 and I'm Lori Eberly. It is a Saturday morning in May 2020, so I really work hard to have boundaries on what's a work day and what isn't a work day. But I want to spend a little bit of time as we're exploring bad habits that damage trust during a period where there's an elevated level of stress and worry and uncertainty and all the shit that comes with living through a pandemic, that to do any kind of self-reflection, self-awareness, self-study, your brain, your nervous system is not going to be capable of doing that if you have just been laid off and you're in fight or flight mode. You're going to have a really hard time doing some level of self-reflection if people that you love are sick with COVID, or if you're dealing with physical health or mental health or alcoholism or other significant stressors at this time. So that needs to be explicitly understood for anyone who might be showing up here and thinking that they want to use this time to do some professional development. For any of us who are in any kind of headspace to be doing professional development, self-development, really looking at our own fuckery and ways that our behaviors interfere with belonging, be super gracious and compassionate with yourself and understand that some days you might be able to do that and some days you can't. I'd like to dedicate this episode to my friend Erin, who just called me earlier today, and we have not connected by phone, certainly not in person, in the last nine weeks. And I know that that's true for a lot of folks watching. And how good it can feel to reconnect with folks. And that if there's some folks in your friend circle or even in your professional circle that you're not checking in on, one, to cut yourself some slack around that, and two, not to take it personally if there's people in your circle that you feel like have not reached out to you. This is a good time to give people the benefit of the doubt and understand that a lot of people have things going on, and to just, again, not take things personally as much as you can. So one thing that will help you to not take things as personally, and one thing that will help you to be able to look in the mirror and identify where you might be exhibiting some bad habits that damage trust, is to quiet and calm your own nervous system. And all of the work that I do with clients over the last 10 years is grounded in neuroscience and the understanding of our brains and who we are, and even more so understanding our nervous systems and how polyvagal theory really helps us to understand communication, our responses, self-regulation and co-regulation, all really important to the work that I do. And as part of that work, before I walk in to a phone call or a Zoom call or a real life call with anyone, I'm responsible for how I show up, and I take that really seriously. So if I have battled through traffic to get myself out to client headquarters, I'm going to take a minute in the car before I even get up to be like, okay, that was a frustrating commute. I want to leave that here in the car. Or if you're getting ready to hop on a Zoom call and it's been crazy town in your house that morning, can you take one walk around the block? Can you, as my friend Uma is starting to suggest, take a few primal screams before you get started? What do you need to do to move some of that pressure, some of that frustration out of your nervous system before you show up on that call? And another way that I do this is with the majority of my clients, not all, because not all of them like it, but I suggest to clients that before we get started, so that we can show up and be as present as possible with each other as we do our work, would you like to just sit with me for a moment and just notice our breath? And sometimes it's about like taking a couple deep breaths together, but that can feel forced. And self-awareness and attunement is really just learning to pay attention to what's happening naturally. And if you can train yourself to slow down and step out of that sense of urgency that exists for a lot of us at work, it really has an impact on how you show up and how you think and how you relate and how focused you can be. So let's just do that for 30 seconds. I just want you to sit quietly. You can close your eyes if you want to. You don't have to. And I only want you to notice your breath, not change the breath, okay? All right. Noticing the inhale and the exhale. Nothing forced. It'd be interesting if we were sitting in a room together, I would ask how many of you did that feel like that 30 seconds was a really long period of time? And for some of you, I know that it was. And you're like, oh my God, how long is she going to sit here and just like have me notice my breathing? And then others of you, that was easy to do. Maybe you already have a practice and so you're really familiar with doing stuff like that. It's just 30 seconds. So we can create 30 seconds in between Zoom calls. We can create 30 seconds after there's been some kind of meltdown in our house and we need to like go lock ourselves in the bathroom or something, right? So that's just 30 seconds of breath awareness, and making that a habit will expand your ability to get back into your prefrontal cortex, which is the place of all your sexy, important ideas, right? So taking little times throughout the day, that's going to help you regulate your emotions and limit the amount of fuckery that you're putting out there into the world. The other really simple thing that I do with clients is called a body scan. And if this is something that you like, there are people that probably do it way better than I do, and you can just Google body scan and we'll have folks that will walk you through that. The version that I do with clients, it goes something like this. Hey, it's good to see you, Erin. Before we get started today, would you like to just sit quietly? If you want to notice your breath, I'm going to walk us through a body scan. If you're up for trying that out with me, awesome. If you don't like it or you don't want to, you can be running through your grocery list and I will never know the difference. But I'm doing it so that I can show up here and be present and listen and tackle what we need to do today. And so I invite people to sit comfortably in their chair and rest their feet on the ground. And if you're comfortable closing your eyes, a lot of people feel really activated if they close their eyes. And so if that's you, just focusing softly on a point in front of you, right? Like the idea is to not just have a piercing gaze while you're doing a body scan. So whatever works for you. So with closed eyes or rested eyes, let's just slow it down for just a minute. I want you to feel your feet on the floor. I want you to check in with your calves and your knees and your thighs, noticing if there's any tension or strain there. Moving slowly up to your hips, feeling the chair underneath your butt or against your back, and acknowledging that a lot of us hold stress in our hips. And then paying attention here to the torso, where there are a lot of body cues if we can learn to pay attention. What's happening in our belly? Are we digesting? Are we hungry? Is our stomach in knots? Are we feeling anxious or worried, and is that showing up here in our gut? Moving up, paying attention to our lungs, noticing if we're breathing shallowly, if it would feel good to take a big breath in. Sometimes it feels really good to take in that breath and then in the privacy of your own home to let that sigh out. A lot of us in Western culture are pretty uncomfortable with any kind of verbalization like that, but it feels good, and our nervous systems, or my nervous system likes it. Maybe yours does, maybe you hate it. They're all different. But doing some sighing, that really helps for me. Okay, so checking in with the breath, checking in with the heart, Noticing just for a minute the heart rate. Is it quick? Is it slow? Is it nervous about this meeting? Are you really excited to see me? What's going on? What's the story of the heart? Checking in quickly, or if you have a lot of time, you can really slow this down. What's the story of the shoulders? Does it feel good to roll them forward? Does it feel good to roll them backwards? And my words are not matching my body if you're actually watching right now. Does it feel good to hunch them and let them go? What do you need to do? They can sort of like just move you back into that space. And then while we're at the head, noticing, does it feel good to do some neck rolls? Are you clenching your teeth? Does it feel good to just move your jaw around a little bit? And I like to close with the idea of, during this time that we spend together, or during this meeting, or during one more freaking Zoom call, can I be thoughtful about what I see, what I choose to see, what I fail to see? Can I be thoughtful and mindful about my words? Maybe I need to speak up. Maybe I need to shut up and create more space for others to talk and to vocalize. Am I using the power of my words? What are my words saying? To check in, are we feeling tightness at our temples, at the back of our neck? What are the thoughts occupying our mind? And can we, for the next hour, find a place of letting all that go and showing up to be real, to be unedited, to be unfiltered in the next hour that we have together? Is there something that you need? I need some focus. I need compassion. I need patience. I need some creativity. I'm feeling really lost from my creativity, right? Is there that one thing that you kind of need, and can you just kind of hold that? And then at the end of a body scan, kind of backing our way out of it, I'm going to count down from 5, and if your eyes are closed, I invite you to slowly reopen them and come back to the room. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And if you've done that with me, it's good to see you again. And if it's new for you and you hate it, fine. Thanks for trying it out. If it's new and you found it just a little bit settling, like let's do sort of a body map real quick before we go. What are you feeling? I am feeling more at ease. I feel rested. I feel a little bit more centered. I feel connected with you, staring into my phone, in a chair, in my room, because I'm just imagining Aaron on the other side of that, and Uma on the other side of that, and Jeff, and Sean, and John, and Tracy, and all of the people that I've connected to this week, and how the same sense of ease that I feel right now, I feel when I'm talking with you. So I hope you found this helpful. If not, go out there and find other ways that bring you a sense of calm and a sense of peace to get you through the next day, to get you through the next meeting, and to make it perhaps this much more likely that you can see your fuckery and choose another path. Thanks so much. Look forward to seeing you again soon.